All right, good morning, everybody. This is Diana at the Misfit Journal Maker, and I filmed this video yesterday and forgot an entire step, so here I am doing take two, which I did not want to be doing today. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful morning. I'm happy to say here in Southern California, we went from 90 degrees yesterday to about, I don't know, it's in the 70s right now, and it's very overcast. It almost looks like rain, so I'm in my element. Makes me happy. Anyway, okay, so this particular how-to is going to be on the, let's see, what did I decide to call it? The 3-pocket tag holder, okay? And because people have been asking me, and I want to give credit to the wonderful people that actually take time to do these digitals, which I don't want to do. I want to be the creator. I don't want to do the digitals. So these two digitals I'm using are from Shastea Bellerose, and it's I Love Paper Digital AI. Now, I've heard her say that when you look it up from this, sometimes you can't find it. Her old name for the group was GUD, Good Karma. And so you could try looking it up by that as well, for her group. She is a wonderful, talented lady. She is a blessing because all of her work she gives away for free. She does have rules, which you need to read, but she's just amazing. I mean, I just love her stuff. One of my favorites that you might want to check out is her fairy kit. It's my all-time favorite of anyone I've ever done. I sold the journal and I'm very sorry because I absolutely love that kit. I am waiting on another kit to do. She asked me to do another journal, and so I'm waiting on that to be able to start on that one. However, these that I'm using for demonstration purposes, these digitals are from her, and I wanted to give her credit and also tell you to go by and check her out. But please do read her rules. She's gracious enough to do this for free, and so I want to just make sure that people know when they go there to please abide by what she asks you to do, because we want to keep being able to use her work. And those of us like me who can't afford to go out and be buying all these digitals, it's a real blessing. So anyway, go and give this group a try. It's wonderful. All right, enough plugging. Okay, so this 3-pocket tag holder is going to look like this when we're done. Now, this is the one from yesterday. Now, I forgot part of telling you how to put it together, but I also made a mistake on this one because, as you can see, there's more room here than there is here. So it's okay that I'm redoing it. I'll still probably use this in something. I don't know. Maybe take it apart. But anyway, this is what the end result is going to look like. So I want to show you. And this digital is hers, and it's gorgeous. Okay. So now we're going to start from the beginning. Yesterday, I had everything all cut out and ready. Today, I do not. And so hopefully this is going to work. Okay, so you're going to need a trimmer because we do have to trim. Whatever digital, this is also her digital, whatever digital that you decide to use, I recommend it to be this way, okay, the long way. If you turn it like this, you could end up having problems if your image is shorter, like shorter this way. So I recommend, you can try it anywhere you want, but I recommend having an image that is the lengthwise, that 11 inches this way, okay? It just makes it easier. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to have 3 sections, okay? So you need to decide which side of the paper that you want, okay? What I mean by that is, pretend this is your journal. I'm going to fold this in half because I'm going to have to fold it anyway. Okay, so pretend this is your journal. If you want your tags to come out this way, then you want your pretty everything that's, you know, all the pretty stuff and the major stuff on this side. If you're going to have your tags come out this way, then you want to make sure that your stuff is on. Always want to make sure that this side has the majority of the graphics. So what I'm saying is you don't want to have places that are going to be a lot of empty spaces. I mean, it's up to you if you do that. But when you're cutting your papers, it's best to make sure that you know what side you're going to make it on. So for me, I'm going to have them open the same way as this one, coming out this way. Okay, which means this side of the paper is not real important to me because the major stuff is over here. Okay, and on this side, you're only going to be folding like 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch over. So it's not going to really hurt anything. The majority of my pretties are going to be right here. So having said that, we need 3 inches across. Okay, so I'm going to go to my 3. And I want to make sure I have everything straight so I don't have a problem. Okay. So there's our first 3. Okay, then you're going to go to the next 3. And then 3 again. Now this paper is going to be, we're going to be getting rid of some of the paper because it's too long, and that's fine. Just trash the rest or keep it, whichever. Okay, so we still have our paper intact, okay? Our picture, I should say. All right, if you can see that. Hopefully, oh my gosh, I'm kind of high. I have my camera in a different spot, and let's see if I can move it a little here. Okay, so I had to move it because I was having a really bad shadow. Okay, so now we're going to put these back in the order. The next thing is to cut them 5 inches across, okay? So, like I said, I want all of this, so I'm going to be cutting on this side, all right? So, you're going to go to, which I'm going to have to open this up. And you're going to have to go to 5, which is right there. And we're going to cut off this excess, okay? And we're going to do that on all of them. Losing my voice here. Okay. Now we've got our 3 little pockets. Okay, so the order again. Okay, this is our order. Now, the next step you're going to do is you're going to get out your scoreboard. If you don't have one, you can measure with a ruler. A scoreboard, though, is the easiest route to go here with this. And I said this on other videos, and I'll say it again. If you don't use scrapbook paper that is 12 by 12, you do not need this big of a board. It's a pain in the neck. It gets in the way. And I would choose half the size. Just for storage purposes, just for fitting on things, you know, just, yeah, that's just me. Okay, you want to make sure when you do this, this is really important, that you're scoring on the right side. You do not want to score on your opening, okay? So, all right, what am I doing here? It goes like this. Okay, so I'm not going to score here on the right side. I'm going to score on the left, okay? Now, if you're opening the other way, you're going to score on the right and leave the left open, okay? It's really important to do that because if you get it wrong, you're going to have your measurements off and it's going to look all wonky and whatever. Okay, so on my board, I have 0, 1, 2. And I'm going to go at the 2. And also another thing when you're doing this is do not go very hard, because if you do, you're going to go straight through the paper. Okay, this is only copy paper. Now you could use, now this is a little off, so I'm going to go up here and do it from this side. You could use cardstock on this, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's going to just be too much bulk for your journal, because the tags are going to be, well, my tags are cardstock. I don't want to have the outside cardstock. So I'm recommending that you use just regular old copy paper for this part. Just because that way you're saving your journal from having a lot of extra bulk that you don't need. Okay. So again, you're going to go over to the second. And it doesn't want to stay in its lane. I'm not real fond of these boards, I'll tell you that. Okay, so now I'm going to just go ahead and fold this one. You could guess on this and just try to fold it, but the thing is, I want them to stay uniform. And if you guess, even with this board, because sometimes it wants to go to the next one over, you can kind of have an issue. So I just recommend using the board if you have it. But if you don't, measure it with a ruler. Okay, now another thing is when you fold this back gusset, it wants to leave a little bit hanging right here. And I don't want that to show. So I'm going to just snip this off. And then check this side, and I'm going to snip that off. You can cut the whole little corner out on the other side, but I just can't be bothered. Okay, so this is our first one. Now let's continue. Okay, my opening is here on the right, so I'm going to score the left. Okay, check that. That's good. I don't know why this does not want to. It goes about halfway, and then it wants to go to the wrong side. I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Let's see if it'll stay this time. Oh, nope. Wants to go. Okay. Hopefully it matches up. Okay. Seem like I'll try not to get out of frame here. Okay, so there's nothing showing on that side. All right, that's good. And now we're going to do the last one. You know what, I'm just going to flip it over because I don't want it to go in the wrong spot. So if you're having trouble like I do, just do it halfway, flip it, and do it the other way. That way you're not going to be having a wonky line. I would much rather do that. Okay, and then alrighty, I think we're good. Here. Make sure I don't have any things sticking over. This one wants to give me trouble. Here we go. Okay, so got a little bit over here. All right, now we're done with this big monstrosity. Oh, I guess I'll put it away after because it won't go where I want it to go. I'm going to try to get this. All right. Okay, so now we have our 3 pieces, which are out of order. Let's see. And then this way, and oh my gosh. Diana, what are you doing? Okay, here we go. Okay, so all our openings are this way. Now, you guys know me, well, that have been following me. I distress everything. So I'm going to go ahead and ink around these really quickly. This won't be a very long video, so this part shouldn't take very long. I did all this yesterday off camera so that nobody had to like sit and watch me, but I didn't have time today. I have other things I want to film, so I just decided to wing it. For those of you that are new, I broke my elbow in last July, and I was out of this for 8 months. I spent 3 months in rehab, and it's still not right. It still has a year to go before it's completely healed. So I don't, and also when I was in rehab, I had a lot of other things happen. And so I'm not physically the same as I used to be. So I don't have a lot of like days that are good. I mean, lately I have been, thank you God. But so I'm trying to film ahead. I'm trying to make content so that if I have some days where I'm stuck in bed or I'm in pain, I will be able to still have stuff up for you guys to see and have fun with. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Okay, so now we went ahead and we did that. See what I mean? You keep getting them out. I keep getting them out of order. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is you can do this part how you want as well. This is up to you. I'm using a piece of coffee dyed paper. Now, you could try to put this in your journal, just on your journal page. Like this would be one of your pages, and just put it on top here. The reason I'm not doing that is because with the tags and with this, when you go to write on the other side, it's not going to be flat. You're going to have ridges, and it's going to affect you writing. For those of you who don't care about writing, that's not going to be an issue. But I want to care about writing. So anyhow, I'm choosing to put mine on cardstock. Okay, I'm going to glue my paper onto cardstock, and also I'm cutting it smaller so that it will fit nicely on my page. It's not going to be the same size as my page. So that's up to you what you do. You can either put it straight on the page, or you can do like I'm doing and use cardstock, or something else that's just got a little bit of extra strength to it. Okay, so now I'm going to see. Yep, they're the same size. They should be. And for this, I use Scotch Create glue stick. This is, to me, the best glue stick I've had so far. It doesn't come up. It's wonderful stuff. It used to be called Scotch Create glue stick, and they changed the name and they changed the packaging. Now, Amazon, I don't know what their deal is, but for some reason, I've let them know at least 3 or 4 times that the picture that they have up on their website does not match what you get. So if you're looking for Scotch Create glue stick and you see the old red, I think it's red, I don't remember, but it doesn't look like this. It's not the plaid, and it says Create on it, and it's permanent. Make sure to get the permanent. Do not get the other one. The other one does not stick. So anyway, but when you get your glue, it's not going to be what their page shows it. It's going to be this, okay? But to me, it's pretty much the same product. So Just gave you that little tip because Amazon's very stubborn about changing their pictures. Why, I don't know. Okay. Now, thank goodness you get a second to realign if you mess up. Okay, come on. Now, one thing, and it's not going to matter because we're going to cut this down, but when you, oh, good grief. Okay, I don't care. We're going to cut it anyway. I noticed something that when I copy down my paper, it does shrink the paper a little bit because this is the same size and look at, and it's at the right spot. So, but it isn't going to matter because we're cutting this. I'm going to just take my bone folder and go over and just make sure it's down. And I want to check. Yep, I need the edges. We're probably going to be needing more glue. So I'm going to get it. I don't want this to come up. Okay, check this side. Yep. It's always the corners. Okay. Now this is a step I forgot yesterday, so we're not going to do that today. Okay, so ultimately, for my purposes, you depending on what size your journal is, this could be different for you. So for my purposes, I want my page or my base for this to be 5 inches across. Okay, so I'm going to get this back out again. Okay, and now wait a minute. I wrote this down wrong. Let me see. We're going to have to check out the one that's right. This is the right size. So let's see what we've got here. Okay. Yeah, 5. So is this 5? Let me see. I think it's over. It's a tad over. Okay, so we're going to cut this down. Okay, so on here, we're going to cut the length, or the width, I should say, to 5. Okay, so that's perfect. Now, the length, I have at, let's see what this comes out to. I even wrote this down wrong. Okay. Okay, so, no, I did. I wrote it down right. Okay. So, the long side of this, okay, I'm confusing myself now, you guys. All right. The width is 5. Okay, so from here to here is 5. Okay, then you're going to flip it. Okay, and you are going to put it on 2 lines before you hit the 8. Okay, I don't know what that is. I am no good at measurements. So the 8 is right here. Okay, you're going to count back 2 little lines, and this is where we're going to cut. I hope that makes sense. So you're not going to go all the way to 8. You're going to count 2 lines back from 8. And that is where you're going to cut. Okay? So let me do this one more time because I know I'm probably confusing the heck out of people. Okay. When you have your paper like this, from here to here, which to me I'm going to call width, that needs to be 5 inches exactly. When you flip it to the length, it is going to be at the 2 mark before the 8. So if you get to 8, count back 2 ticks, and that's where you're going to cut it. Okay. Let me see if I, so yeah, so the 8 is right here. You're going to go 1, 2 back, and that's where you're going to cut it. Now that's if you're using 8.5 by 11, folded in half as your journal, okay, because that's what size I use. So I'm just gonna fold this for a minute here. I just want to make it clear because a lot of people do these videos, they go really quickly and they don't explain, and I don't want people to be confused, even if my video takes a little longer. So this is my normal journal paper size, okay? This would be my journal. So it's the 8.5 by 11, folded in half, and this is my journal page, okay? So I want this to be smaller, see? So that's why I cut it down, so that when I glue it in, it's not flush with the size of the journal, okay? I hope that makes sense. So if you have a larger journal or a smaller journal, you're going to have to measure and cut it accordingly to what you're doing, okay? So, but if you're doing the 8.5 by 11 folded in half, then use the measurements I gave you, which is 5 this way, and then this way you're going to go to 8 and then go back 2 little lines and cut there, okay? I hope I got that clear. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and just ink the outside of this really quickly. It just gives it a more finished, and I love the vintage antique look. A lot of people don't like that. You are in no obligation to do this. It's your journal, and you know, you do what makes you happy and what is your aesthetic. So, you know, everybody's different. Some people can't stand the antique look or the vintage, and you know, that's fine. That's what makes us all different. Now, if you've got little bubbles in here, it's not going to matter. I wasn't real careful about that on this because you're going to be covering it. So I can feel a couple little bubbles in here, but we're not going to do anything about that because when you turn it this way, you don't even know. Okay, so now we're getting to the gluing part where we're going to glue this down, okay? So make sure when you're gluing this that you've got them in the right order for the picture so that it flows, okay? Now, when you're gluing this, you want to make sure that you don't put a ton of glue because you don't want the glue coming over here. That's really bad. So we're just going to, oh, good grief, my glue. It never fails. And I don't know where I put my little pin. Hang on, guys. My glue is not wanting to come out. Let's see. Got to get a pin. I keep forgetting to put the little top on it, and you can't do that. It will get messed up on the top and will not come out. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so you just want the very tiniest of a line here. Enough to glue it down, but not enough that it's going to seep out. Okay. Now, I had issues with this being in the wrong place yesterday, so hopefully it won't do it again. I want to leave a little space at the bottom, and I want to leave a little space at over here. So try to get that where you want it. Glue this down first. It's much easier, believe me. And then we're going to go ahead and push. Come on. Jiminy. These gussets are not easy to do. Okay. I should have used my bone folder before to get these to go down flatter. Because now it's not wanting to go. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. And then I want to make sure that I don't have any glue Okay, that's good. All right. All right, now this part is where I want to definitely make sure I've got the same amount of room. So I think I'm going to glue the top one in before the middle, because I had issues with that yesterday. And like I said, I'm going to go and try to make this flatter with the bone folder so that it doesn't want to stick up. It'll make it gluing it down much easier. Okay. Okay, so same thing with our glue. Very small amount. All right. So we're going to do the same thing here. I want to leave a little bit at the top. Try to get it the same place as the other one. Okay, right about there. Hopefully I am straight. Now see how much easier that went down? Because I used that bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use a knife, anything with an edge, a ruler. And I'm going to do the same with this so I don't have issues. Alrighty, so now we're going to glue again. I have another video that shows this pocket, but I never put the measurement, so that's why I'm redoing it, because I had people asking me. And so I decided just to go ahead and do a... Did I do this wrong? No, I didn't. Okay, so then we're going to try to get the same amount of space between each. Okay, hopefully I've got it okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want to try to make it look decent. Okay, so there we go. Pretty good, I would say. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and hit these again, and then I want to check. Okay, perfect. So that's what it's supposed to look like, okay? You're supposed to be able to see this as a full picture, but we know it's not because there's little bits missing, but still, it still looks like a cohesive full picture, and that's what's so cool about it. All right, so now we're going to move on to the tags, okay? Mine are already bought tags. They came like this, and I'm going to just use them because they fit perfectly. So I'm not going to decorate these tags. And the reason for that is because even though there's gusset there and there is a little room inside, I don't want to have like stuff sticking up. They could, you could, whoever gets this, well, not this particular one, but if you make this, I would leave them blank so that the person could write on them or use stamps on them or whatever, you know. I personally don't make everything so that it's all full and nobody can do what they want with it. Because to me, a journal is fun when I can put myself into it, you know. I don't want to have a journal that's so full of just pockets and, you know, all these things and there's no writing room. So that's just me personally. My journals are full of writing room, and I'll never change that about them. So now on here, this part, we can use jute. We can use anything you want. This may be too tiny for what I'm trying to do. Let me see. Okay, so if I was using jute, I would just go ahead and, I personally like the bows. Make a bow. and that's really super duper cute. But I found this lace, and it is the same colors that are in. I'm going to cut it a little long because I don't know how much room what I'm going to need. And I thought this would be really super cute as the little bows. So I'm going to see what I think. If I can get them through here with my fingers that do not want to work. Come on. Okay. Yay. Okay. This is way too long, but I can cut it off. It's better to have too much than too little. Ugh. Getting old is really annoying. Your fingers don't work. Okay. That is darling. Okay. I am going to go with the ribbon. Too cute. So we're taking off Mr. Jute. Sorry. I love the jute, but I just think that the ribbon pulls the colors out of the graphic or the digital so well. And I like that. I'm all about bright. So, I don't know. For me, bright things just really make me happy. And I think we need to do that with our art. Is do what makes you feel happy and gives you a smile. So wow, I really cut this one way too long. Well, it's a good thing I keep all my scraps for other stuff. Oh, this is so darning. I'm loving it. This piece is a little too long. Ah. Okay. Okay, and one more. I don't have a journal ready that this goes in, but believe me, I will use it in something because this is so cute. And I love the colors. Actually, love the graphics. So, God was with me cutting this so long. I'm just not a good judge of how much of the bow is going to take. Okay. And I'm not particularly good at making bows. Some people make them so perfect. And that is just not me. Okay. Okay. Lots of extras. Okay, so that is the finished product. And I am really happy with this one. I mean, really, really happy. I just love it. And I love the bows. And like I said, you know, I'll just do this for the sake of it right now, because I probably will add this when I'm done and use it eventually. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little stamp. Sorry about my chair. I keep saying that. Oh, I really like this little stamp. So I think I'm going to do it on all of them. Just these little curly cues at the bottom. So you can decorate it, but oh, I hate when that happens. But you also leave the person room, you know, to write or to do whatever they want, but it still has a little decoration. So I'm going to have to make sure that I do not push as hard. I don't want that to show. I don't know if you guys... That's cute. You can see just that little bit of stamping. And you could use any color ink you want on this. I'm just using walnut stain. Perfect. Okay. So now we've got little stamps on each one of our tags. So this is what I'm using, walnut stain. Okay. All right. So this is it. It wasn't very hard. Once you get the hang of this, it goes pretty quickly. I just went a little slow because I wanted everybody to be able to get the measurements, and so I hope I was clear on that. I really do. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but if you're not subscribed to me here, I would love to have you, and come and check out everything I put up that I want to share with everybody. And also I have a group by the same name, which is on Facebook, The Misfit Journal Maker. And I'd love to see your take on this. Come by, you know, post what you did. And if you had some other type of add-on that you did to it, I'd love to see that too. I'm sure there's a lot more talented people out there than me. So yeah, come by and show us what you did. I hope everybody has a fantastic afternoon, and I'll see you next time.